The fire is still burning. It was reported around 4:15 this morning here at the intersection of Northeast Munro and Northeast MLK Jr. Boulevard. You can still see the flames are active right now. They are still burning, though they are much less in intensity than they were just 15-20 minutes ago. When we got here, the flames were absolutely huge. It was a wall of flames. Some neighbors were telling me that they were going up anywhere to 150 feet into the air. Portland Fire called this a third alarm fire around 4:20 this morning, bringing in resources from all over the city. Right now I can tell you there are firefighters lining Northeast MLK all the way up and down for several blocks right now. This fire was just huge, and when we got here, the flames were just shooting into the air. There were concerns that the building was going to collapse, and sure enough, that is exactly what happened. About 2 minutes after we got on scene, the building just caved in on itself, sending flames, sparks shooting in every which direction. Firefighters were very aware that that was a real possibility, so they had pulled out. They were very concerned about this. They knew there was no way that they were going to be able to save this because the building was already just engulfed in flames. We are understanding that this is an apartment building that was under construction, 6 stories according to Portland Fire and Rescue. If we can swing over here, I can show you this house. Crews are putting water onto this home right now. It has caught fire too, and when the building collapsed, part of the debris and structure, the walls caved into that home, actually piercing a hole into that side of the home, and firefighters are actually inside right now. They are trying to get control of this fire. It is very difficult because of the sheer size. We have no idea what caused this fire. It is still so early in the investigation, but I do know arson investigators are on scene. They were called out immediately. As for this home, I spoke to the homeowner. He says that he was actually inside, and he said that, as you can see here, they are putting out some yellow tape right now just to keep so many people back, so we may have to move just a little bit. But the home itself, there was someone sleeping inside. He told me that he heard some popping noise, and then all of a sudden he could see the bright light coming from his bedroom window. He immediately got out, and as we see this gentleman walking right here in the middle of the street, that is one of the lead arson investigators with Portland Fire and Rescue. So again, as I mentioned, arson investigators are here. They are just in the very early stages. We do know that they were taking pictures of this fire. They were looking around trying to see if anyone saw the initial cause. We don't know who reported this, but 911 dispatchers tell me that they were flooded with callers because this could be seen from across the city. We were coming from downtown Portland, and we were at the courthouse on 4th and Main, and we could see the smoke and the glow of this flames from downtown Portland. So if you're not familiar with where we are near Legacy Emmanuel Medical Center, not too far from there. Right now, we do know that we have no reports of any injuries. Again, none of the firefighters were hurt when the building collapsed. They were all standing outside here. We can show you the sidewalk and show you how many people are on the sidewalk just kind of looking at this. Obviously, something this big is going to draw a lot of neighbors, and the gentleman right there on the cell phone, he is the owner of this home that has caught fire here, and he says he's lived here since the 90s. He says that he immediately got out. He says that this neighborhood is very historic. It means a lot to him that he has been here for several years, and that this, this is a devastating fire for him. In terms of the investigation, still very ongoing. We do know that crews from across the city are here because they are going to have to be replacing these firefighters. We can see one firefighter right now is bringing a cooler, presumably to rehydrate these firefighters who have been here since about 4:15. Many of the neighbors that I've talked to, they say that they just heard a lot of popping noise, and that we can assume was associated to the building collapse itself. The construction of this building, we don't know. We can see that there is a fence around the perimeter of the building here. It sounded like from some neighbors in talking with them that this building was close to being finished. It sounds like they're maybe a couple months out from opening it. It sounded like it was going to be a new apartment complex here. A lot of the neighbors said that this was part of the revitalization process over here in Northeast Portland. So at this point, crews are still battling the fire. The bulk of the flames, from what we saw earlier this morning, it is much less intense, but you can still see the crews are dumping water using their trucks and their ladders. This is an engine truck that has the hoses that's shooting out here. The firefighters say they will not go into this structure, this area, because this is considered a crime scene investigation, even though we do not know how this was started. So we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Brent, quickly here, when we talk about a fire of this size, of this caliber, of course, natural gas is something that comes to mind. Are you smelling anything like that in the area? Have you heard anybody talk about the smell or the odor of natural gas when this happened?
No, we didn't smell anything when we got here, and that was our first concern, obviously, for the safety of the people who were standing on the sidewalk and the safety of my photographer, Dale Burkholtz, and myself. We were very worried about getting close to this fire. I immediately went up to a battalion chief and said, you know, hey, can we be here? Is this a safe location? He said, yes, this was okay for us. He didn't have anything in terms of natural gas leaks or anything like that. And we don't smell anything unusual. And, you know, in the wind direction is actually kind of blowing it towards downtown Portland, kind of towards the Steel Bridge area. So we are not getting the intense smoke flames, and we don't smell any of the burning plastic or any of the debris that you would expect with a fire like this. And that's simply, we assume, because of the winds in the direction.
All right, Brent Weisberg live for us there at this massive fire in Northeast Portland. I just received a text message from the Public Information Officer for the Portland Fire Bureau, and officially 1 apartment building and 2 additional homes caught on fire because of this reported explosion that took place about 4:15 this morning.